What's up, everyone? It's Thursday night, and you know what that means. The three corners of horror are live tonight, and Dry January is over. So I will definitely be taking a couple sips tonight. And if you are joining us, thank you for joining us. I am Joe the Psychologist, and let me introduce you to my brothers. First up, JR. We missed him last week. Kryptonite got him. He was down and out. How you feeling, brother?
A lot better, I tell you what. The flu is a horror, and at least get to watch this film. Is it the substance, or is it just, I don't know, just another drop?
He said the magic word. Look at Joe's trigger. Look at Joe's trigger. I can see Joe's brain just swung.
And of course, my beer brother. How you doing?
What up, my brothers? What's up? Good. JR, great to have you back.
Yeah, we missed you.
Thank you.
We all cheer for big bottles of beer. Let's have a good one, bro.
All right. And so tonight, if you have not seen the movie, well, make sure to check it out and I guess come back if you want to keep watching. We're going to be dissecting into the Shudder 2025? The 2024 movie, also streaming on AMC Plus. Grafted. I gotta read these names, sorry. It is directed by Sasha Rainbow and written by Sasha Rainbow and Lee Murray. It stars Joanna Sun as Wei, Eden Hart as Eve, and Jess Hong as Angela. So, if you have not seen this movie, well, there's I'm gonna say there's a beginning part and then the rest of the movie. So, you have Wei, who in the start is living with her father, a scientist, and a little freak accident happens. Fast forward, Wei is now going to be attending the New Zealand University, where she's going to continue basically her studies to become a scientist, and is there with her cousin, her friends, and this terrible, terrible teacher. But, before we get into once Wei goes off into school, let's talk about that cold open. All right. And I'm going to go to JR first because, you haven't been here, I want to hear your voice, even though you might be all Barry White and shit, but, let's hear that.
I like that the cold open. I feel like the cold open should have gone a little longer, but you get the whole thing with her father, and you get to notice this. I guess a skin. They never really described exactly what it was. Some kind of skin disease that they're having.
I think from what I understood, it's something that has just been passed down along the family.
Well, they believe it was a curse.
Somebody, one's cursed. So it's something that basically family members bear this. And I thought it would look like a big mole.
No, I mean, you could tell with the father was more predominant because it was like really over his cheek, like over half his face. And I'll be honest, at first I thought it was some zombie shit that was gonna start happening, but the fact that you could tell like he's doing his best to try to solve the situation, and the fact that you don't really know that we has it till like a little bit, in the middle of the cold open, but it's very like minor hers compared to his. But yeah, once you started seeing the experimentation he was doing, and then he went like full like Matrix mode with the whole closing of the mouth. That's the first thing I thought, fucking Matrix and shit. But I thought it was interesting to start like that, and the fact that I'll let Rick discuss what we does to dad, poor old dad. But yeah, I mean it was a good cold open. I just feel like it could have went a little bit more into detail exactly what was behind what was the thing actually. I know it's Chinese lore. If you want to go that way, because they think it was a curse. But I just want to get more in depth to what was happening, especially once we get the older that we want to understand exactly what it is, because even she didn't really explain it either, because she said the curse thing. But I think ambiguity is good, but I felt like we needed a little bit more exactly what was going on with them to have a better understanding of how far we goes in her experimentation.
Actually, and it brings up a good little question that you mentioned on there, because if the father's doing this, he should have tested it with that tissue and see what's going to happen. But Rick was the one that actually, I think he saw this movie before all of us did. And, I think he texted me, he's like, yeah, I'm going to start the Grafted. I was like doing something all of a sudden. I think I got what the fuck, and I'm like, like cause I knew what he was talking about. I'm like, oh, if Rick is going, what the fuck? Something good really happened, and and it was the open, but. Curious which part of the open, because there was two little as far as what happened in the open, it was actually two little separate scenes that were pretty fucked up. So which one was the one that you went, what the fuck?
Well, man, honestly, I mean, if you know me, honestly, the what the fuck moment came with obviously the poor mouse getting fed to the snake. Oh no, it's one of these movies. I wasn't as the opening didn't thrill me as I'm kind of with JR on this one. I did wanted to know more. I think that's what it is. I thought they were gonna at least give you a little. I don't need to know everything, but give us a little something to go on instead of just mentioning, oh, they say it's a curse. That's all she said, but we don't know. Again, it is something within the family itself that was said, but maybe they felt like it wasn't really important to the narrative of the movie. But I don't like when they have things dangling like that, because what happens is as the movie's going along, that's all I keep thinking about, and it just takes me out. But again, that's a minor nitpick, though. It's okay. I just wanted more of that. But the start of the film was the catalyst of the character of Wei and her psychosis, essentially. Having to, bludgeon her dad in the fucking face repeatedly over and over. And just seeing, the skin just keeps repairing itself so he can't breathe until he's just dead right in front of her. It's crazy. And I just wanted to know more, too, about what exactly are they doing? What is this serum? And they're skinning rats. And the guy put a piece of the skin on his face. And then he injected it with that stuff. And it just was weird. It's just a weird way to go about this transmutation. I guess they wanted to gross you out with the rats, maybe? I don't know. I think that could have been handled better. But overall, though, I was hooked once the cold open was over, because I like it when it fast forwards now to the present time and we see Wei about to go to school. She won the scholarship, so she's off to that medical school, and now you're like, okay, let's see the character growth that this character has taken since she was a child and during all that trauma as to where she is now. So I think the cold open did a good job in that sense. I just like JR said, though, they gave us breadcrumbs but just not enough. I wanted them to spend more time kind of explaining what is it with this condition and what exactly is he trying to do. I mean, I know he's trying to, the movie's called Grafted, so skin grafts, we all know what that is. Yeah. So essentially, why it wasn't important that it was the mice that they were using the fucking tissue from. Maybe just, I don't know. But hey, man, better than a frog. Better than a frog, right, Joe?
Yeah. Well, it's probably something that can also be found in abundance. Yeah.
No doubt.
He's doing it from home. And I'm kind of the same thing, because I like the shock that you got with the cold open, and again, the movie actually was a good length, so decide on where you're going to cut from. But agree with you guys, because how about having seen the dad as a kid being bullied,
or
what have you, because of his scar. Then he goes to school to learn this, because he's trying to do something for his face. And then he has a child who bears the same thing. So now he becomes even more obsessed of finding, because essentially that's what it is to finding a tissue to be able to put over the areas. Because that's, when Wei was explaining it later on, it would help out with burn victims. But, to see why, basically, obviously, because he had the scar or the mole or whatever. That was his whatever it's called, but that was his reasoning for becoming studying to find a solution for it. Yeah. But give a little bit in the beginning, and again, it doesn't have to be a full story.
No.
You can give that in these little sections of seeing him and then him trying to fix her. But yeah, as soon as he put it on, actually, what I thought about was when Scarlet Witch closed off Black Adam's mouth.
Oh, Black Bolt.
Sorry. But when she did that to his mouth, that's what I had. I saw when I saw that. Yeah. But when he started slicing it just to be able to breathe, I was like, now see, maybe if you would have checked this a little bit better before you go and put it on your face,
Yeah.
Or not make it so it would have been basically he died.
Yeah, you're right, because Wei in the future, within the film, she runs out of options, so she's kind of forced into doing this experiment herself without fully testing it. She's forced to do it. He's not.
Yeah.
So I don't
No.
know why he didn't test it further. But one last thing I wanted to say about this, what I did like about this cold open, is it really did give the character a reason to give us the viewer the understanding of why she's able to just murder people so easily. I mean, she's grown up experimenting on animals. Again, what she did to her dad. You could tell the way she had no problem feeding mice. It excited her to feed the snake live animals. So it gave us that sense. Okay, this character was kind of raised in this environment with all this weird butchery going on around her, whether it's animals and who knows what else they did, and the fact that what she did to her dad. So yeah, I like that. It just didn't take her character in the future and be like, oh, that's out of character. Why would she snap all of a sudden? No, she's been doing shit like this since she was a child. So I like that.
You watched it a second time, didn't you?
I saw it twice. Yeah.
So that because when you just explained it, because one of the things I thought in my own head, you actually just ended up answering, believe it or not. And I remember I going, yay, we got a second watch opinion here. Because this movie, on the first watch, I'm going on a first watch. But it's something, if you look back, you might get a different perception of it, especially with expectations of things. But yeah, like that, that's like I said, for the cold open, that with you guys, it's just elaborate a little bit more, give the motivation and explanation for it, what it is, and that way it would give a little more cadence to Wei's, mission on herself, being beautiful, because at this point it just seemed like she was looking for it as far as beauty. It wasn't because she wanted to get rid of this. Like for me, I felt her fixation was on beauty itself. When she goes to live with her aunt, she's looking at billboards, she's looking at signs, and it's all beauty products and wording, throwback to They Live, like you got to be pretty. It's all the context is all in there. This little one word. So like I guess that I see the motivation of what Wei did.
And that's what kids are growing up with now, especially with social media.
Yeah.
I mean, so many celebrities now, if you go on the Instagram pages, they're all models now. They're all, whether heavy makeup, filters, kids growing up sees this and they think, oh my God, I have to look beautiful. Even if they are already beautiful, it's all in the eye of the beholder, man. These people are getting fixated on just, you look at it, people now that are gorgeous, and they do all this plastic surgery and they're making themselves look like monsters. Think about that. You know what I'm saying? That's happening. Maybe not, they're not looking like the fucking sus Brundle, but still, they're looking pretty fucked up.
Well, look at me.
Ariana Grande looks pretty close to almost as Brundle.
Yeah. Oh, well, she's starting to look like me, bro.
Ariana Grande.
Oh. I love Ariana though. I love her singing at least. I love her singing at least. But so now we get to Wei going to school. Before we do we have any comments? I don't want to.
We got a couple here.
All right.
We got our good buddy Adam M. Hey y'all, I missed this one. Juan's fault for not telling me, so no spoilers.
Adam, you got to start calling me Joe, so that way they know.
Who's Juan? No,
that's me.
And of course, the fourth quarter herself, Lexi Bennett, my devilishly handsomes.
I know Lexi saw this one.
She saw it? Oh shit! I'm surprised.
No, I'm totally being sarcastic. I'm sure she heard that too. But yeah, so as Rick said, the movie, then we get a time jump because essentially Wei was, I don't know, I'd probably say 8, 9, maybe 10 at the most. And now she's going off to university and she she's taken in by her aunt, who is, very traditional Chinese, was happy to have Wei there because she wanted her to influence her daughter, Angela, who was a lot more, I guess, socialized to New Zealand, because the movie is from New Zealand.
Dude, that threw me off because I knew nothing of that. Just threw it on, right? And when I saw, I saw Wei and her dad. It's a Chinese film. All right, cool. We don't get a lot of those. And then when it starts bringing in like all the New Zealand characters or actors and and characters, so to speak. Like, where's this from, bro? Then, within the film, you realize, oh, they're in New Zealand because this is an exchange student, so they're gonna have all types of, they had a Tongan character here. We had an American, so yeah, pretty cool. I like that. That gave it some flavor, in my opinion. A lot of mixing of the
and
nationalities.
When you had said that, what's funny is because when I started the movie, one of the first of the, of whatever they're called, the title cards that come up for the companies said New Zealand. And I'm like, it's literally right there.
Bro, they give us like 10 fucking different production.
Yeah.
GR, I know GR noticed that shit. How many people
put money on this shit?
Wait,
Yeah.
have you guys ever seen the episode of Family Guy where they make fun of that, where like it starts off and then it keeps going, and Peter's like, "Oh God, how many of these do we have?"
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And it's like 5 minutes later, you're sitting there, they're like waiting, and they're still going.
And some of these logos are mad fancy too. They just come in like all these crazy graphics.
The last one they put on is a dude's name. It's that guy's name, and then all right, to start the movie.
That's it. Yeah, I know. I hate that.
It is a whole lot. I mean, and they can go a little faster.
I get it. You guys worked on the film. You financed it. You produced it. We don't need to know all that. Just put it in the end credits. That's all. That must be in the contract. It's just Jesus Christ.
Well, yeah. I mean, everybody's got to make their little portion of the money, and the way that you can get it is, well, I got my emblem here right in the beginning. But yeah, so Wei attends the university that Angela goes to and meets her other two friends, Eve, and someone help me out because my bad, for my own notes, I forgot to write down the name of the
Jasmine, I think her name is.
Jazzy.
Yeah. All right.
Jasmine, I believe.
Jasmine or Jazzy?
Jasmine. Well, I guess maybe it's a nickname that I know it's Jasmine as far as.
All right. So, and Wei tries to get in with these girls, but it's her cousin. Like, help me out here. I want to hang out with your friends. I'm new here, and the three of them would all mean girls on her. Which it's like one of those things I said that I was watching the movie. I'm like, oh man, it's just like now we got mean girl stuff going on. Like I get it, but then clearly the mean girl stuff elevated the motivation in Wei's character and what she had to do. So, though through accident, essentially, Wei ends up killing her cousin, and then slices off her face to put it on her, which this leads to stuff that Wei does along to get the things that she wants. So like, especially Rex, you saw the second time, you kind of helped answer that one question. What did you think of Wei using the whole grafting for more personal gain, as opposed to, remember, she wanted to do this because she just wanted to fix her face.
I believe at the start she wanted to continue her dad's research. I think not only for herself, but honestly to help others in that position. When she met, I think, John, the burn victim, she was really friendly to him. She was really sincere. She didn't like run away scared, or like any normal person would see this poor guy and they will feel uncomfortable. But she
understood.
I think she was more uncomfortable having him look at her deformities as opposed to the other way around, which is crazy to think, man. And that's being so. What's that
perception.
word?
It's perception.
It's
like,
it's just...
what her perception of what's ugly is based on this. Meanwhile, you have this man who is horribly scarred.
Yeah.
Who she didn't flinch either, which is not. Yeah, it's another. Like, I keep thinking more of the stuff as we're talking. When she met him, there was no flinch on her part.
No, not at all. And then as the movie goes, again, she becomes more like, especially when she meets like Angela and her friends, the fucking bootleg Anya Taylor-Joy and Jasmine. Then she really becomes about herself. That she falls deeper and deeper into this dark black hole. And again, she keeps seeing the advertisements, the billboards, and the more she sees that, it's contrasted by the way she's being treated by her cousin and her friends. So she just keeps getting like, she's trying to be nice, but she's so quirky and awkward. The way she eats, bro, I don't like it when people eat all disgusting around me either, bro. That's a turn off, bro.
Oh my god, I was like,
oh my god. That was
when she was slurping, I literally was like,
Jesus.
I'm like,
I hate that, bro.
I don't want to
hear
hear
that, I'm
you
like,
eating.
ooh, what the hell's wrong with this girl? But when Angela had the accident and she was killed, she was real sincere about that. She didn't want to kill her. So what I liked about this character of Wei is she wasn't a villain. She just had a lot of trauma. And yes, she did kill. I mean, we're going to talk spoilers here. I don't give a fuck. Warning. If we haven't
Sorry,
spoiled
Adam.
enough already.
Wait, Adam was like,
well,
no
he's not even
spoilers.
watching.
Sorry, Adam.
No, yeah. Anyway, but Angela was an accident, right? But then Eve was a total bitch to her, man, and she was such a like conniving character that yes, that at that point became almost like a slasher film. The way, especially that death was pretty fucking cool, and yeah, she definitely was not a mean person because she could have killed that fucking dog, man. I thought they were gonna go for that, especially when the neighbor kept saying, "Oh, shut that dog up, it keeps barking." I'm like, oh, she's gonna kill the fucking dog. But no, she. That's why she's cool in my book, man. She never killed the dog, so the dog survived. But I think I liked her journey, and in a way, it did make sense. The movie wasn't too long. I guess one complaint others might have was, again, like I mentioned earlier, it's out of character, or she transformed too quickly into like this naive, quirky character to this obsessed killer. And I don't really think so. I think
No, you explained it
it's
right
been
earlier.
It's been there, yeah.
You literally explained it right earlier.
Yes.
She well, the father died by suffocation, but she sat there to try to help and keep stabbing to his mouth to open up his airway.
Yeah, and that's just not any old person. That's her dad, man. Someone she loved, and she knew no better, and she
worked on animals. And what do they, psychologists usually people who kill animals become sociopaths.
Yes, dude.
So when you said
it dissect animals.
Bro. Yeah. What you said earlier, it really helped kind of put a little bit more perspective on the film, because that was literally one of my, which is why I wanted to ask you guys, but the turn, because I'm like, but she was so meek, but then when you said earlier, I'm like, oh fuck, I didn't think about.
Yeah, and her beauty wasn't her lust for acceptance didn't come from her just wanting to like bag all the boys or nothing like that. She just wanted to be accepted by society. That was it. She wasn't trying to be beautiful just for the sake of it. She just wanted to look like everyone else. And I think in this current climate, especially like I said with social media, young girls and boys growing up now see all this and they're gonna feel the same exact way. So it does kind of make sense, and it's tied to today's society, man. That's pretty cool.
All right. What about you, JR? What do you think about Wei using the whole grafting things for her benefit?
All right. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't like the sequence of the deaths of the people, and the reason I'm saying that is I know Angela was an accident, but I felt like Angela should have been one of the last ones, and I felt like Angela and Eve should have been the two that were switched, because it was her interaction with Eve that pushed her over the edge. And it was that whole incident when because she wanted to make the world full of beautiful people. That was her mission. And that's what she told the what's his name again? The Johnny, right?
John. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's what she told John. That's what she told the professor when the professor went in because he was desperate for some research because he was losing his. And she goes, he
was losing his funding, right?
Yeah. We can make the world full of beautiful people. That was her goal there. And then when Eve comes around and basically, I mean, think about it. She basically took a piece of her skin off to experiment. So chances are she was doing that for a while. Because she saw
on her thigh,
right?
Yeah. So and you can see that there were scars on the leg. So she'd been self-mutilating for a while.
To me was like the most gruesome thing in the entire movie to me, bro. When she was shaving off her leg. Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh, that was horrible.
So for me, I just felt like the sequence of the killings kind of threw me off because I rather had preferred the cousin be one of the last ones, because of the fact that here you have a girl who was, now mind you, she was, even when she lived with her dad, she was isolated. She was doing homeschooling, so she was even going to school. He told her, let me go over here, do this experiment. You got to go do your math. So this is the girl who's been isolated. Look at this.
Jesus Christ! I'm sorry. What the fuck was that, bro?
Holy shit! This shit.
Jesus Christ! What the...
God damn.
He's
Yeah, he doesn't
muted.
even know he's muted. He's having a whole conversation.
He's muted. You're muted.
I'm sorry. I don't.
I'm
drink
sorry,
out of a
Gio. I
cup.
didn't mean to cut you
No,
off.
it's like
And I
funny,
apologize.
man.
And I'm in my
Oh
head.
my!
My mouth was getting so dry.
That
and I
took
didn't
up the
want more
whole
beer.
screen, bro.
I
man.
moved the mic, but I drink out of a gallon of water now. Sorry.
Like, bro,
I'm one of those gallon water people.
no,
Sorry.
okay, all right. Sorry. Go.
No, but
Sorry,
for
dude.
me, yeah, I do feel like the sequence kind of threw me off. And when Angie died first, I kind of got taken out of the movie for a little bit because it just felt like Eve could have gone first, and she could have used Eve's beauty. Because remember, Eve was the beautiful one out of the trio, which kind of reminded me of the movie The Craft, the three of them, because it was the same.
I prefer Angela, to be honest with you, bro.
No, yeah, but the way it was perceived, Eve was the one that was
I know.
beautiful
Yeah.
one. She was the one that was sleeping with the professor. Her whole argument of you don't sleep with your teacher for good grades. That
Yeah,
I'm
well,
saying that was kind of lame. But the fact that this is the one that pushed you over the edge, and then when she went into her basically using the grafting to live different lives, it felt a little bit like semi-rushed for me, because I kind of wanted almost like the audition type of feel to this, where you see the slow descent into madness, and the descent into madness went a little quick once Angela died, and she goes like, "All right, I could kill her. You know, I'm gonna use her face because Anna's here." And then she started going after other people, and then when she killed Jasmine, that made no sense to me whatsoever, because I think Jasmine could have been the sympathy. She did not mean to kill. But even
well,
after
she did find that head though in
She
the
found
fridge.
the head. She didn't want.
That's evidence.
Yeah,
the
the problem was she
she
went. Yeah, she went to get something out of the refrigerator.
Yeah.
Wade went
She
to
freaked
stop
out.
her.
She freaked out. Way freaked
and it
out.
was too late. You know, like
She was
I mean,
sympathetic when she did it. She didn't want to.
No, she didn't want to, but I mean, for me, it's just I wanted the slow. I wanted basically the moment Eve left her to go after Eve first, because I think that would have been a good catalyst to basically push her over the edge, because that's the one person out of the group of friends that's really giving you the hardest time, and you kind of want that villain to be one of the first ones to go, because then you can see, then you can see like the how she goes through the whole process. I mean, imagine if she would have killed Eve first and became Eve. Now she could be Eve in front of Angela. She could be Eve in front of the professor. So it's just I felt like that would have been a more sadistic kind of story.
Yeah.
Her using the professor a little bit more to her advantage, being the fact that she's pretending to be Eve. Because even the boyfriend's death felt like a filler to me. I mean,
yeah, her face fell on that dude.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the funny part, the dude's laying on a piece of he's laying on a car, and you hear him crying still. Because he was crying for a little bit before he died.
I think it's a narrative decision as far as the way she picked her victims, because she became Eve essentially just to get closer to the professor to get her book back. I think that's why they went in that particular order.
Yep.
But let me ask you this, JR and Joe, both of you guys. Now that JR is on that subject, bro, how stupid are these characters? When Wei became Angela, when I first watched this, I'm like, what? Wait a minute, who is this? Is this CGI? Wait, but I realized, it's the same actress, but with fake fucking teeth.
Yeah.
They can't notice the fake teeth.
Yeah,
and not just that though, but the height, weight differences. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Thank you. Actually, because that was
How
going to be my
dumb are these
bonus.
people?
I was waiting to see if anybody's going to bring that up.
That's one of my biggest negatives. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well,
JR brought it up
well,
now in this sense. That's why I brought
We
it
will,
up.
and I'll get back to it.
We'll
That
get
was
to
my
that. Yeah, we'll get
that
to
was
that.
my bonus question.
Okay.
Just so I can because
Put
for
a
me,
pin in it. We'll go back.
Oh no, I know that it's my bonus question because it's my biggest nitpick in the movie, believe it or not.
I still want to
But-
hear your thoughts though from our previous.
Well, yeah,
discussion,
that's
fine.
what I'm gonna
Go for it.
but-
Unless JR is done. I'm sorry, JR. I cut you off.
Oh no, I'm curious on this one, because I agree with Rick on this one. I have a lot.
Yeah.
of
But yeah, no, like I knew. The thing is, nobody said. I'm like, okay, it's the bonus question I have for these guys. Not one has said it. And when Rick started mentioning, I'm like, all right, he knows. But as far as like
I
Wade,
wouldn't notice that.
Wade, you know, her intentions, I got. And actually, once JR put it in the order, I kind of would have agreed with that also, where it would have been Eve. But the accident was how she figured out how
Yeah.
to do that, though.
Yeah.
It's almost like, because if she would have killed Eve because she would have been pissed, she may not have thought of in that moment about, you know, the whole face thing.
She would have tortured Eve, which would have been even more fun to watch.
That
We
would
all
have been,
hated Eve.
she could have done what she did to the teacher. But with, like I said, you know, I'm going back to what Rick said early on, and it's the benefit of watching a movie twice, is because you sit there and go, okay, well, you know what? She's been killing animals all along. She's done this. So the thing, the darkness has already been in there. It took Eve, which was really funny, that the hottest girl got jealous because she looked in the room and saw Wei showing her thigh. Like, I mean, she really saw.
Press was all up in it, though. He was like,
well, he was, but
yeah,
still,
without knowing, it does look kind of sus.
It does, but does she really think that, you know, like, if I would have been Eve, I would have been like,
well, she probably thought,
going on
oh,
here?
this motherfucker sleeping with multiple people.
but
for good
when you'd be even
grades.
more pissed off, yo, hold on, he's sleeping with me, and this is like a downgrade he's going after.
that.
now?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's
So,
what I'm
like,
saying.
like your own,
Yeah.
if your own confidence should have been like, he's not fucking her. But, you know, again, because we're dealing with what would actually be essentially, you know, 19, 20-year-old mentality, that's what she thought. So I did think her using Eve as a way of getting the dad's book back from the professor, you know, that was the motivation. But which was I was going to bring to the bonus question. My problem with this was, so when she put Angela's face first on, you see her like, you know, like doing all these movements, and I'm like, so does the grafting, if you put the person's face on, is it then essentially going to give you their body? Like, are you going to be, because she's shorter than them, she's skinnier than them.
Yes. Look,
so like,
Eve was tall, bro.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Her
So
hair, what the fuck?
you know, she dyed her hair. Like you couldn't. I'm sorry.
She became Mystique.
I dyed my hair,
Yeah.
and you still you couldn't you can't match somebody's almost all the time. So it was probably the largest plot hole in this movie.
Bro, Angela's
the
boyfriend
fact
was
that-
kissing her and those deformed teeth. I mean, not deformed, but they were not Angela's teeth.
He's touched her before. When he was all making out with her and feeling, he wouldn't have gone, Angela, when's your butt drop so small since like last night? You know what I mean? Like
tanning, because you know, we was dark skinned compared to everybody else.
it
And
was.
Her skin
Yeah,
color changed.
That's true. That's true. Her
Well, and
arms,
That's why she became Mystique.
Yeah.
She basically fully adapted. I'm like, oh, come on.
But yeah, because like Rick brought it up. I'm gonna go to you, JR. Like that, because you said you had the same gripe. That's the largest plot hole that I find this movie has, is the fact that nobody can pick up
it
that
makes
it was
everyone's stupid, and it's just the values. of film.
very. It does. All right, JR, go ahead.
Even the professor. The difference between Eve and we is so drastic.
Yes.
You cannot. Oh, you're acting weird today. No, you should know who she is. And then
She's shorter.
And then that was the dumbest part. It was when the serum was stolen. He was like, "Oh, we." He realized it then that she was using the grafting. That pissed me off even more. Like,
And how would he know that the grafting would alter your appearance
Yeah.
that much? The grafting is supposed to like remove whatever like scar or deformity you have, not completely change your face to that person.
See, I can see.
Well,
if
or
he
they
would've
did,
got-
remember, she cuts off the whole face and peels it off, and
Yeah,
then
but he
puts
didn't know
it-
that. He
Well,
didn't
no,
know
he
that
didn't
until
know that.
after the
Okay.
serum, and then all of a sudden, oh, it's we. I would have thought he would be like, oh, Eve's trying to get back at me because basically I kicked her out. You know, I've been mistreating her. But all of a sudden, no. This dude realized that it was the other girl the whole time, which makes no sense whatsoever. And then he goes to the fucking house and has a drink. I mean, it was just like, for me, the movie started going on a downward spiral. And you know what? And I'll see if Rick on this. It started going on a downward spiral when the score started changing into EDM type music.
Yeah,
When it started changing
it's-
music, I'm like, fuck, here we go.
It had a myriad a fucking had like synthwave.
Yeah, I'm like,
But
why?
yo, there was one scene though, Joe. I know you probably caught this. I forgot what scene it was. They were showing some gory shit, but I swear they had some class. It sounded like Goblin, like something Dario
Yes.
Argento would use. Bro.
Yeah.
I'm like, one. I will say this though. Yeah, the sudden, yeah, it didn't bother me too much because there were a couple like, yeah, but they did have some pretty badass tunes in this. One thing, one strength is the original score though. I would
Yeah,
say.
it's just the EDM towards.
But it
the
was
end,
all over the
like,
place. That's the problem.
It
It,
was,
it
yeah.
didn't
It didn't fit the narrative.
not just that, but it didn't stick to like one consistent like flow or like style. It was just all over the place. Like
it's
said.
almost the scene with the professor when she's basically got his mouth shut. That I would have preferred some kind of like old traditional like Chinese like music in the background. Because remember, the other thing that set her off too was when Angela destroyed basically her
altar.
father's basically
the
his
rotting
altar.
food.
Yeah, so throw him some, go back to that tradition stuff. But it's just like, yeah, the whole turning into Mystique thing bothered the hell out of me. I'm like nobody's recognizing that this girl
It's
was
not
like dark
plausible.
skinned.
Yeah.
No,
It's
And-
a good
and-
idea, but executed poorly.
yeah, I mean very poorly because you're only using the face. All of a sudden, the whole body transforms. That
Yeah,
just
like-
made no sense
And
whatsoever.
if there would have been a way that she, as she's doing the research, figured that out, you know, maybe we could have sat there and bought it, but she did.
No,
She
And then
literally acted like she turned into
Yeah.
Angela. That's like I said, she's you guys always see what I'm talking about, where
Mhm.
she's like,
could barely
she's-
walk.
she's like twisting
with
around
the
and I'm-
heels, right? She can't. Yeah.
no, like after she puts the
Oh.
face, she puts Angela's face. Then you get the silhouette of her as the face is trying to attach, and she's holding onto the dresser, and she's like contorting, and she's like, and I'm like, oh my god, so it's like her body now like is like breaking and becoming
That made
Angela.
no sense
But
whatsoever.
then yeah, and then you realize that that wasn't the case.
So her
and-
skin color changed. You know, she practiced to talk like Angela, but then was able to talk like Eve with no problem. So the vocal cords started changing after a while too. It was just there was a lot of stuff
Yeah.
that I think this movie had great potential as far as where it was going, and it just and I think Rick might agree with this. It just felt like the writing got lazy after a while, and they were like, just going to continue to finish the film.
Yeah. There was
All
some
those
disconnect
people that were in
somewhere,
the beginning that put money into this film, what the fuck happened to the rest of the money? Finish
Where's
the
the
film
yeah,
off
yeah,
with?
yeah, and we'll get into the. I'll get into that a little later, but yeah, dude, you're right. Like height and weight differences, mannerisms, demeanor, body language. It just takes you out because
Takes
she
you out
spent
'cause
all
you're-
that time trying to practice how to talk like Angela, and she still didn't even talk like her at all. She was acting even more like what's like she was definitely more like nervous and quirky and weird like
yeah.
as Angela as she was
And
herself.
as Eve, and as Eve, like even
No.
as Eve, she could like it, like she wasn't believable as the people who she was now supposed to be, and then like you said, it leads to believe. Again, we've said this before. You sometimes have to suspend disbelief. It's horror. We see a lot of shit that you're like, well, that can't. But like this one, I couldn't suspend it enough because I'm sitting there going, doesn't anybody like realize that the
Bro,
body is completely off?
I
mean,
swear to you, when I first watched this, I'm like, I didn't know it was the actress who played Angela. I just thought it was Ray, but it just put makeup on her. But it was the other way around. I was like confused. Like, what is going on? How is this working? 1 second, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
All right, we got Selena here. Super twisted girl who just wanted to be accepted by the world. She was teased so poorly and was never accepted. Yeah, that's this world now. If you got one fucking zit on you and you're getting fucking
Think
You're
about
getting bullied.
think about these two classroom scenes real quick though.
yeah.
Wait.
Love you, sure, Joe.
When she first goes to class, she sits in the back. She gets the 100, right?
mhm.
In next class, where she's sitting in the front, and the rest of the girls are in the back.
Oh,
Like-
good catch.
I mean, she moved up to sit with them, and they didn't even want to be nowhere near her.
And they still signed the. I agree, Jr. That was the dumbest part of the teacher hated. Yeah. The teacher was Hold on 1 second. Y'all all reminded me of the film Split, but a different. No, well,
No, Split-
hold on a
Split's
second.
a
Hold
lot
on a
better.
second.
Wait. Is she talking about
Oh wait,
Split or
splice.
splice?
Splice.
It's
I
about
think it's
splice.
splice. That's what I
Damn
think
it,
she's talking about.
Lexi. We can't keep adding more negative stuff to your
Splice was
like
awesome.
scroll. Oh yeah, Juno, you missed out. We're gonna be having a scroll for all the movies that Lexi hasn't watched yet.
Oh no.
I'm gonna find a fucking scroll, believe it or not. Well, totally, we're gonna do this to her.
We should do
So,
a
yeah,
live stream. Have you watched this?
Well, all right. We'll go to our final thoughts here.
Yeah, let's
you
go.
know, obviously our little ratings. JR, I'm gonna go with you first. She goes, no, I mean Split. Really? So you didn't see the movie then?
For me, I feel like this movie had a lot of potential, and it just got lazy, and it got lazy in such a bad way that it took me out of the film. I wanted a slower descent to we, and that's why I keep saying like the different characters of of Eve. I just felt like if she would have killed Eve first and started becoming Eve, it would have interacted with her confidence building because she's being the most beautiful girl in the school. Even though I agree with Rick, I prefer Angela better, but Eve was like the picture perfect, popular, beautiful girl in the school. And if she would have became her character more and used the professor a little bit more, I think it would have made the rest of the character change even more stronger. The other big problem I had in this film, major problem I had in this film, is the ending of the film where she merged with Johnny was just total stupidity. It went from her becoming Mystique to, oh my God, we got the thing now. Where she merged and now they're sharing the same body. And it made no sense to me whatsoever.
What happened, dude? The graph. Yeah,
The
yeah.
graph
no.
touched the. They basically
no.
she was hiding.
She had the vial in her hand that she stole from the
And
professor.
it broke.
And when
right?
when he went to cover her basically, and she went down, the vial broke, and she had her hand on it, and then touched him.
That's some comic book shit right there.
I will say this right now. I think this is the part. And again, I know that you made the little comment at the beginning. This is the part where a lot of people are comparing this movie to The Substance, and I will actually say neither of them are the same at all.
Well, real quick with that, this movie and The Substance were probably in production relatively around the same time.
Yeah.
So I don't think this movie saw The Substance, and a lot of people were saying that. So I just want to,
And my whole thing is because at the end you got the the amalgamation. It was called Elisa Monstro. So for this one, Joe Way Monstro was created. And the same thing though, I know it's stupid. I will say though that when the aunt found her and she's looking at her face and you see the hand,
but she still didn't recognize her. She ran away.
Well, she did, but I will say the hand like this. But then
wait, she saw a regular other.
She thought she saw we.
She didn't. Oh, she saw the old. Yeah, she ran.
She saw the merge.
You're right. Yeah.
And she looked. And when you see it was Wee's face, and then you see the hand like this. That little touch of the merge and just having a hand like that, I thought that was actually a kind of nice little touch as far as like the merge part. But again, I wouldn't compare both movies at all. Just because you got shit. I always say this word wrong. Amalgamation, no, amal.
An amalgamation. Now you fucked me up now, bro.
Hey, Mr. English teacher.
Hey man. You put
JR, how do you say that word?
An amalgamation. Jesus Christ, I'm saying it right?
Yeah, you're saying it right.
Right. Because you had in both movies the ending, two characters merged into one. That's maybe the closest thing you can say that they're the same, and that's just it turned out to be pure luck because, as Rick said, both movies were probably being done around the same time, and
one in New Zealand. And where's The Substance? Is that Canada, Joe? I don't know. I have no idea, but I know this was New Zealand.
Yeah.
No, but
go ahead, JR. Sorry.
Yeah, just for me,
an amalgamation.
Like,
there you go. That's what it is. An amalgam. Yeah. I got
it just felt lazy. It was like she could have grabbed anybody else to do that. Basically, rip somebody else's face off and turn into them. It just I don't know. I didn't like the ending. It just felt like it got lazy. The writers were like, "Fuck it," we're at this point. We're probably running out of cash flow. Let's just wrap up the movie.
It did feel like that, yeah.
Even the fact that you killed everybody that caught you doing this, and you let the next door neighbor run away. Once again, didn't make sense to me either because there was one person.
Wade's not again. That goes to what I said. Wade's not
though. But remember, she killed Jazz for discovering the body, and she liked Jazz.
Cause she freaked out though.
That was literally.
But she also freaked out when she saw the neighbor come into the house.
Well, she did go after. She ran. But I'm not gonna catch her. Fuck it.
Yeah, I mean,
fuck it. I'm not gonna.
I mean, just for me.
No, I hear you, Gio.
Yeah, this film had a ton of potential. It started stumbling and bumbling, once the killing started happening, and all the characters were fucking stupid in this one. I mean, all of them just made stupid decisions, and the fact that they were so gullible and just dumb, it started killing me halfway through the film. So for me, it just felt. I'm gonna give it a 3 because the more I thought about it, the more it annoys me that the fact that this film, and I love international films. And this one dropped the ball big time because it could have been crazy stumbling.
No, Gia makes me like when he mentioned Angela's boyfriend when he got killed. Her face fell right on top of him. What the fuck is that?
But
That was funny. That was
it was the top of the car, still crying, and she's like, "I'm sorry."
Who wrote that? Stumbling.
I did.
Oh my god, you got me bugging. I thought. Wait, I mean,
I love what Jr. said. It was perfect. I'm like.
Yeah, it's just for me. This film had a lot of potential.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, everybody's you're gonna compare it to other films, especially the substance.
He said he was still crying when he was under the car.
He was still crying.
I didn't hear that.
Oh, he's crying, and all of a sudden she goes, "I'm sorry." The dude's fucking laid out.
Whose car was that? That wasn't his car, right?
No, that car.
They passed by it earlier, right?
Yeah, I'm like, you're Chekhov's gun.
That's Chekhov's gun. Yeah.
Well, that's the car that
they walked by it.
Eve,
it looked familiar.
When Eve took her out to the field to basically, leave her stranded.
Oh, they passed by that car
again.
Yeah. That's why I saw it.
Yeah. No, but yeah, for me, I mean, a lot of potential, lazy writing. All you fuckers who were at the beginning got your credits and shit. You guys fucking fucked this film up.
There was
she
like
got more
10
cash.
motherfuckers.
Especially the one person decided, I'm just gonna give my full name so I can get credit real quick. It's probably you, motherfucker, that fucked this film up. 3 for me.
He's an asshole.
Rick's about to take a shot before he gives this review.
No. That's why I don't have to get up. Oh,
right. I was like, he's going.
Let me leave this here. Brand new bottle and the fucking top's fucked up. Yeah. So, I think this movie, quite honestly, people, I see a lot of people all over saying it's gory, it's violent, it's gross. I think it could have pushed the envelope even further. Yep. I think this movie could have been even a lot more grosser. It is a body horror, let's be real, but
it is. As
far as body horror, it's on the more tame side. And one thing this has that most body horrors that I love don't have, and that's an overabundance of CGI. A lot of CGI in this film. As far you know me, man. Once I start seeing like especially when the grafting starts taking place, and you can see it like merging into the skin and bonding. Almost like a symbiote, and oh man, it's like I'm watching a fucking like comic book movie at that point. It just looks so fake. I don't like it. I did enjoy the ending though. I know GR, I know what you mean. I'm not discrediting what you're saying at all. But I did what I liked about the ending a lot is when it zoomed in on that an amalgamation of the two characters of Wei and John. As you look closely, you keep finding weird shit. An eyeball there, an eyeball here, fingers there.
See, that's like
teeth over here, teeth down here. You keep seeing that, and the fucking music. I know we complained about it earlier, but the music here
at the end
was amazing. And bro, I sat through the entire credits, and if you sit through the credits, the music just gets better and better. It just sucks you. I'm like, damn. You know what this movie was missing? One solid theme that's recognizable, right? That would play throughout the entire film. Not every scene, but the important scenes to give it that familiarity. Because yes, a connection. When you watch older films, right? Whether it's The Fly we mentioned, or this, whether it's Jaws, Halloween, Friday the 13th, right? These films has themes that are easily recognizable. This movie could have done that because if you watch the end credits, I never watched credits, bro. But I'm sitting there like, God, dog, bro.
You know
If this
why?
movie would have had this.
Because it sounded like 80s music at the end.
Yeah, oh yeah, exactly. And it was synthwave. I love synthwave. I've used that shit for all my edits got synthwave. You know what I mean? So I love it. But yeah, it's just man, the CGI man, it took me out. You know what? This movie's a 3 for me too. I think this movie has so much potential, but whether it was a CGI, the boneheaded decisions with the writing, I mean, the characters is written stupid. You're trying to tell me if let's say one of you guys, let's say JR, Priscilla comes home one day, right? And you notice her teeth are different. Are you gonna say something to her? What the fuck? I mean, this dude's kissing up on her. But Eve blew my mind. Like, how the fuck is this impossible, bro?
Listen,
at least Angela, you could. All right, maybe they're both of Asian descent. They're similar in body, but holy shit, bro! Like, come on.
I'm just saying, if let's say Junior decided to cut your face and put it on, and then show up to be Rick, everyone would go and go.
Everyone goes, hey, JR!
You got shorter, and
no, they say that. They were like, "Yo, what happened? You eating a lot? You got
and vice versa." Is what I'm saying. It
They'll
goes
be like,
either
damn,
way.
JR, what the fuck? You want to die, motherfucker?
Well, no, and it
What the
goes
fuck?
either way. Like if Rick takes JR's face, everybody's gonna like that. That's it.
It made it.
Were you
It just
done?
made everyone stupid, and
did.
that not just made the characters stupid, but that gave me the inclination that the director and writer, which is a new director, I forgot her name. It's a woman. I forgot her name. You mentioned it earlier.
Sasha Rainbow.
Sasha Rainbow. What's up with these new directors with these weird fucking names? Jesus Christ! Use your real name,
They
people,
stick
please.
out. It sticks out. You remember?
It was
Come
in
on,
the pot.
man.
It was in the
It's
pot
too
of
much of
blood
that.
on Rainbow.
It's too much.
Listen,
Anyway,
none of us can be Ricky Montalban. You
I
got
know.
Jose Lopez and Juan.
listen, bro.
Juan-
Nobody
Juan
wants to be
Lopez,
like, hey,
I
it's
mean.
Ricardo Montalban. Hey, you're the guy from Star Trek. No, his name's with a B.
Blade.
I'm a V. But no, for real. Like, oh, God, what was I talking about now? Jesus Christ. I was talking about directors. Well, help me out.
What's wrong?
Directors'
What's wrong with
names.
these new
Everybody's
names
got
and
funny names.
No. That was a
and the
sidebar.
directors and writers. What's
I
up
was
with
going
these
somewhere else
directors and
with it,
writers?
but whatever. I
I think
forgot.
you were going to the lazy writing and basically it's the directing at the end.
Yeah, I just, man, I don't know. I lost my train of thought because my name's awesome. But yeah, at least, hey, man, at least the dog survived. I'll give it points for that. So.
All right. So for me, honestly, the movie had a lot of, as Jared said it, a lot of potential. A lot of potential. I already pointed out, and I'm gonna sit by The Substance and Grafted are two totally different movies. Just because at the ending you have the amalgamation, I know I said it wrong anyway, of two characters that doesn't, you're muted, Rick.
An amalgamation.
It doesn't necessarily mean that the movies are the same. I'm giving this a 2.5 only because the plot hole on that nobody can pick up that the body was completely different. You know,
That's what I was getting at. Thank you. With directors treating the audience, not just the characters they're writing, but the audience, they're treating us stupid.
well, yeah,
come
we're not
on,
that
man.
stupid.
We're not gonna criticize that. Like, come on. That sticks out like a sore thumb. Thank you,
Yes,
Joe. You just
if you
brought it up.
can give us a reason as to why, and the reason why would be that maybe because the DNA on the face, it'll
Bro,
change the body.
couldn't
but it didn't
wait.
even do that.
Wei was mutilating her fucking body for her research. Why can't she just like file her teeth down so they at least they're on the same playing field? They're not, one's not longer than the other. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Or not even shown.
You know what,
Not even
JR?
shown.
Thank you.
Not even shown.
Don't even include that. Why?
Yeah.
Why did
But you
Wei
put
have to
that.
have
You
those
put
teeth
that
to begin with?
But you put that in there to differentiate your characters.
To differentiate them, yes, but they. And
You don't have
didn't
to
show
show
it.
it. You don't have to show when they transform. Though,
Yeah. So yeah, it's a 2.5 for me. I know that a lot of people are kind of loving this movie, and when we did the last week's live stream, I guess we're going to the movies, but we can't go to the movies every fucking weekend. And we're gonna have to find stuff, obviously streaming. And everybody's been talking about this one. And
I didn't hate this movie. Let me just
I
get
didn't hate it. I didn't hate it.
As a first time, it's enjoyable, but just that's it. Just it could have been more. Like, that's all.
It's getting past that plot hole.
I don't like when my intelligence is insulted. I think that's what it is.
It's getting past that. I would have rated this actually a little higher, but as Rick pointed out, I'm not.
My extra points for the music. That's my extra. I love the music.
All right, so you would have been a 2.5. But
yeah.
I'm not this. I'm not this stupid.
But 2.5 out of 5, it's average.
It's still not bad. It's average.
It's average, yeah.
But I'm sitting there going, all right, so you're now kissing Wei, who's got Eve's face, and you can't fucking tell that this body is completely different. You see this woman naked. You have seen every aspect of her
smashing
body,
that shit, bro.
And you could not pick that up. And as you Rick, perfect word. Like we're not this stupid, and I think that's where the movie kind of fucked it up. Was the fact that it was rushed. Yes, the death scene with the boyfriend. Let's put this in here because we have to put more reasons for Wei. You had a really good idea. You should have just stopped for a second and go, let me think about this. And come up with a way for us to understand why the minute you grab somebody else's face on you. And then here's the other part. I'm gonna put my beard down for a second. Here's the other part. Wei's face started getting all red, and that shit looked irritated. It looked like it would be hurting, and she never stopped.
She's dry skin just hanging.
Yeah, it's like
I forgot. Yeah, right,
dude. Literally,
he's like, does your mom or your aunt sell moisturizer and shit?
Yes. It's like I'm sitting there and I'm like,
nobody notices.
Okay,
like, so
right.
it's just hanging off. That's not irritation of dry skin, bro. You're fucked up if your skin's hanging off by a thread.
It was just
exactly. You're right. She saw that. That's not. Let me ask you
Eve
something.
saw it twice.
GR, if you see Joe and you see Joe's skin's all fucked up, are you gonna say, bro, get some moisturizer? I'll be like, motherfucker, go to a hospital. Go see a dermatologist.
I'll put a gallon of water on them to dry that shit up.
Jeez.
I mean, you see my skin, it just shouldn't look like that anyway. But so here's the thing. The idea.
Here's the thing.
The idea of this movie could be redone again, and it could actually be done right. So if anybody writes and wants to come up with a movie using it,
there you go. It's 2.5 for me also, Joe, from Selena. So there you go, Joe.
So see this is you're talking about rewriting the film. That's why I wanted Eve to go first, because she could have slowly tortured and experimented on Eve, and that would have basically it would have been more for me the fact you're torturing her and then you become her.
Well, and
so then that's why I tied the whole thing with the audition, because imagine if it was like she's torturing her like in the audition, and then she becomes her.
Joe's favorite character was Cheryl.
Because you have there was no need for the boyfriend's death. You had
stop picking him up. I keep laughing.
But you had this other scene that you could have built on in the film, and you totally like showed it to us, and they ignored it the rest of the way, and that's when Jazz was on the train with her, and they're basically having a moment, and Jazz is telling her she's beautiful.
Yo,
and then you don't do anything else with it.
You're right. You're right. I love you brought her up, because when she was.
By the way, Jazz was the hotter one. Sorry, guys. Jazz.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, she was.
Sorry, guys.
You're right.
No, you're right.
You're right.
Tonga.
No, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
It was because she was the only character that felt genuine.
Well, because
but it's funny
because she's the minority.
But when she
compared to the in their group,
I forget what.
Sorry, but she's the darkest skinned, curly haired girl. So she's the minority even within her own friend group. Because Angela kind of wasn't. Angela was popular.
Well, they're all minorities. They're New Zealand though.
Well, like I know, but you still, well, no, because Angela grew up in New Zealand. Angela wasn't born in China. Angela grew up in New Zealand.
But she was still considered a foreign exchange student.
No,
they said in the beginning. No, the guy said it. The professor. Oh, we have a new exchange student here today. Please,
Wei.
That's what I'm talking about.
Angela. I'm talking about Angela.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. No, Angela was born there. You're right. But
so, Jasmine,
but
being
before I
from
forget-
Tonga off New
Okay.
Zealand, is more of the minority within her own group.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Which is why she felt for Wei
Oh, good
and
shout.
understood what
Good
that's what I'm
shout.
saying.
She
That's
had
where
that connection. Yeah.
that is where
but
Jasmine
they
came
didn't
from,
do
which is
anything
why-
with it, and they didn't do
They
anything
didn't.
with it.
and which is why when Wei killed her, she felt bad.
Yeah.
And that's where you had Wei's transformation,
You're
and then a
right.
moment of, God, I'm fucking this shit up because I killed the wrong person here. Because, as you said, she freaked out, you know. But yeah, no, Jazz was definitely the much better looking one, guys. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're right. I forgot about her. She was. Oh yeah, 1000% she was. And what I would say is I liked it. I liked when I think it was when Wei was portraying Angela when she says to Jasmine, like, why do you always in everyone's business? And it's true. Like, if you notice, like, when she like me, bro. If I'm on the subway or a train, and someone sits next to me, starts talking to me, oh my god, bro. You know me. I'm an introvert. I'm like, oh my god, why are you? I don't want to have a conversation. I just want to sit here, listen to my podcast or my music.
I got a note to self: don't do that to Rick on a train. I am one of those people.
No,
That
you're
will talk to a
different though
stranger.
because no.
I will talk to a stranger on a train.
That's
Or on
different.
a
I'm
bus.
talking about like somebody I just met or a stranger, not
I
you
do
or Joe or
that.
JR.
No, but I do that.
I don't do.
We're in an uncomfortable situation. We're sitting next to each other. Let's at least say hello.
Nah, man.
And then-
I'm an introvert,
yeah,
bro. I don't
yeah,
like to talk to nobody.
I got some great stories from just sitting next
No,
to some
I'm not.
random
I'm not
person
an
on the
asshole.
bus.
I'll talk back. I'm
I
not
know,
an
I know what
asshole.
you're saying, but like I'm one of
Inside,
those.
I'm like dying inside. All right.
All right.
Sorry.
Well, this was actually a fun one.
Mind you,
Um,
too, real quick. I'm sorry. We could go back to Jasmine's death. What was even more heartbreaking was the last thing she said was like, "Oh, I think my mom would love to make these or cook for us or whatever." It's just something about her mother and her family because she was inviting her over. Remember?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Don't stay alone. Why don't you stay here? We'll cook.
Yeah.
And that was the last words. And oh god, that one hurt. And plus, she didn't even try grafting or anything with her. So
No.
you could
If you
tell she had
if you would have had more of that relationship building, it would have been more impactful to death.
Yeah.
And it's fuck the boyfriend.
Well, before I have
that guy in his fucking afro, fuck that guy.
before I
got
have
nothing
Rick take us
against Afro.
home, I want to add the last thing before we head out here. JR, to give more to your idea. So every time that like the skin would start wearing off, she would need to go back to where she's keeping Eve and cut off another piece of her skin, put the solution on to sit there, which, dude, if you're gonna do body horror, you're gonna do something involving grafting and then torture somebody
You're
and
torturing
keep that
the
person
villain
in
of the
there
film.
to just keep taking chunks out and keep repairing. So that way when she realized, oh no, the shit dries up and my face might fall off, I need to be able to grab.
Because
Think
she was
about-
dead. Is that why?
No, she shouldn't have killed her because now you would have had the most
Live
beautiful
tissue.
school
You would have had live tissue.
terrible.
working.
She would basically look like
Yeah, but
Like almost a
is
corpse.
that the trick? What is all right? You guys say live tissue, but obviously the original tissues were the rats and mice, but they're not live. So when the professor made his own serum, he said he cracked it, right? What did he do different that
He
Wade
made
did
that
not
plant.
do?
It
No,
was
he
the plant.
Yeah,
found
but
out
Wade
who
got the
made
same
stuff.
plant. She got the
Yeah,
same
yeah,
plant.
He,
yeah.
he discovered the
That's what
same
I'm
plant. He went to the
That's
same
what I'm saying.
place.
So how come her shit didn't work? What was she missing?
No, because she didn't know about the plant at first.
But she grabbed the
Right.
plant. She
Well,
broke
she
in.
grabbed it. She grabbed
She
the
broke
plant,
in
and
and
it
she-
did started.
and then
It did
he-
started working, and then
Yes.
he went in there,
Yes.
got the rest of the
I
remaining
see
of the
that.
plant,
But how come her
basically
face was
perfected
falling
it.
off?
Because he perfected his. Because
how
he
did-
experimented.
That's my question. How did he perfect it? What did
Well,
he
we
do
didn't
that
get
she
we didn't
didn't?
get that. We didn't get
We
that.
They didn't
And
show
we-
it. That's what I'm
We
saying.
didn't get it.
Right, yeah.
We didn't get it.
Yeah.
Because
yeah, we
like,
didn't get
why was she so upset? Listen, I'll be like, listen, that shit ain't gonna work.
We gotta
you
remember one
fucks.
thing too, though. That while she was being somebody else, he was perfecting the serum the whole time. So he was constantly working on it while she was pretending to be everybody else. Because then at that point, she was like, "Oh my god, my dad's notebook." So she totally forgot about the notebook the whole time. She's being somebody else. While this dude's basically cracking a code
Yep.
and basically found out about the plant.
So
Well,
when
and he
got
found
it
out because of her
translated,
drawing.
when he got it translated, though, the guy said, "What are you doing with this?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said it was something else. Like it wasn't even like research. It was some weird.
no, because it was very questionable what the fuck they were
Yeah,
doing.
it was basically if you're going against
I swear to
all
you, I thought they were
Yeah.
gonna go into like, what the fuck? This is torture.
No,
porn.
no,
What are you
you're
doing?
going no, well you're going against science. You're going
Yes,
against
because
a lot
no,
of,
I'm
it-
guarantee you
it's-
in there. Yeah, he's probably experimenting on like actual like fucking.
And animals on himself, and then he was
Yeah,
putting
yeah,
in
yeah.
the
So
notes.
it's weird.
He's experimenting
Yeah.
on himself.
Some island of Dr. Moreau shit. So yeah. All right, Joe, take us home, brother.
Actually, you take us home, bro.
No, but give us the intro, man. I got the button. You gotta say it.
Oh.
I got it.
I will
Ready,
hold on,
I
hold
got
on
it.
before we go. I will
I set it up. I gotta set it.
because-
Ready?
hold on because this was again we put this one in here.
There you go. That's
I'd
what
say
I was
this
asking
was
for.
this was a lively conversation. I enjoyed having this conversation because we didn't plan on this. Was we none of us were looking forward to this. And
I
it's
saw
always-
this the first time, not for this, but when you decided to do a live, that's why I saw it a second time. It's
Yeah.
been a while since I've seen it, like a week or
But-
so. So
I know, and I think we talked because I said to you we didn't have anything for tonight,
yeah.
and I said, how about the grafted, and you then I was like, I think I'm gonna check it out, and you messaged, I'm like, I'm
No,
gonna check
you're
it out
right.
now. I go, good.
Yeah. I was like,
But, you know-
nah, let's not do that. But I watched it anyway. Just you know what? Let me watch this in case. And I told you, you know what?
And like, you're like, check it out. I'm like, you know what? I checked it out. I'm like, you know, we should fucking do
It's
it.
worth it.
because-
It's worth it. It's
Again,
worth
here's the
discussion.
thing: we don't always have to discuss movies that we fucking love, and
No,
it shouldn't.
no.
You know, we're speaking with that next week. Make sure to tune in. I'm going tomorrow morning. Actually, 1:20 in the afternoon.
Yeah,
so
you go
tomorrow
early,
afternoon.
man. If I go tomorrow, I'll forget everything by the time we live stream.
Me and
I
Rick
don't
are
have
gonna go Thursday.
I'll see you,
actually,
Gio. I'll see you,
Here's the
Gio.
thing.
Hell yeah.
Here's the thing.
Grab your H10. I grab H11. bro.
If-
I got you. I'll buy both tickets, man. I got you.
All right, yeah. I'll send you the money. All right, no,
Here's the thing.
don't. I got a free pass.
All right. Okay.
Well, here's the thing. If we make this a thing for the movies, I actually enjoyed that live stream where you both came in that day
Fresh.
watching the
No
movie.
notes, just
I
fresh.
got
Yeah.
to have a couple of days to think about it. That actually was another our live streams, the conversations we're having, you know, they're very enjoyable. We threw this one in here, you know, and again, none of us had this on our list, but
I never. heard
again,
of
as
this
I was
one.
going, speaking of list, JR had one on his. It is dropping tonight, actually. As I said, I'll be there tomorrow. Next week, we're going to be reviewing Heart Eyes, and it stars Mason Gooding Jr. and I think Jordana Brewster, and I forgot the name of the other
I know
girl.
her.
What's her
And
name?
it's a slasher, so I'm curious to
Wait, what's the
curious
name
to
of
sit
the
there
other
and
girl?
watch it with Rick, because Rick he loves slashers. So
I
he
watched
holds
those with a
slashers on
magnifying
highs.
glass, bro. Yeah, I'll tell you if it sucks or not. Bro.
But yeah, so make sure to
I love me
check
some.
out.
I love me some Jordana Brewster. So.
Oh, I
let's
do
see.
too.
I
I
don't know,
actually, I enjoy.
I don't like. I don't like knowing who's in movies. Thanks, Joe. So that's why.
Oh, sorry.
That's
No,
I like,
you don't
I
like spoilers.
I like sitting. No. I like going to a movie, be like, oh, she's in this movie or he's in this movie. Yes. Bro.
Okay, let me put this on my list of
Yeah,
things
yeah.
that
I
Rick
told
doesn't
you. I
like.
don't watch.
Like,
I don't
no,
look at
I know we knew.
anything.
I knew trailers, but I didn't know that. Let's not.
No, I'm fucking. with
Don't
you, Joe.
mention names to Rick.
No,
Okay, we
you
got
can't
that.
get you can't get away from that, Joe. I'm fucking.
I'm fucking with you. That's
Look,
but yeah. So make sure to check it out. We will be doing our live on the 13th, right before St. Valentine's Day. Heart Eyes is a Valentine's Day killer. And speaking of Valentine's Day, the second episode of Holiday Horror will be dropping this weekend, where we will be discussing My Bloody Valentine. Now, which one? I guess you're gonna have to fucking tune in to find out. With that, Rick, take us home.
that being said, stay good, stay healthy, stay sane. Drink some beer or drink some water if that's what you do. But most of all, stay scared. One day I will get this outro